Welcome back, everybody. Today I got a special video.
That was fiction, but this game, it's real. And it's part of a strange something that's deeply when it comes to see this.
Every generation has its urban legends. There's the infamous Polybius, an arcade machine rumored to have caused seizures, amnesia, and maybe even government surveillance. And of course the Lavender Town Syndrome, a melody so haunting it allegedly drove children to madness when they first heard it on their Game Boys. But the mystery surrounding the homebrew game PHOBOS DERE is a bit different, and that's because I've had first-hand experience, one that left me a bit perplexed. It's a game allegedly developed by a secretive organization known as the Rashstein Institute, a game that makes you see things that aren't there, a game that seems to rewrite itself the longer you play. I had initially reached out to the game developer with the hope to find more about this mysterious game. However, after days of no response, I found a package in my mailbox, and what I found inside chilled me to my core. It contained an unmarked USB drive and a copy of PHOBOS DERE. Curiosity got the best of me and I investigated what was on the drive, and what I found was shocking. It contained video files of an interview I had no part in, and yet it seemed to answer all of my questions.
The game seems to respond to the player's mental state. APSA recommends the use of extreme caution when interacting with this game. Good luck.
It's an experimental Game Boy compatible software created by the Rashstein Institute back in 1992 as part of a continuing research on the deletion and restoration of digital consciousness.
There's a woman named Lilith. She met up with me, we talked. I've always wanted to make games, and she eventually handed me a source code to a very special game, unmarked, unreleased, and she entrusted me with this project. For the sake of the safety of the people that I love, I don't think I could really delve into that state. These games have always had a direct impact on the conscious state of whatever user is using it at the moment. In fact, these games could evolve and adjust based on how you are feeling and what your memories are. They have this special connection with our consciousness for some reason. These games aren't really just games. They have a direct connection to the user that's playing it at the moment, and it would mess with the users a lot, and it led to a lot of nightmares, and I heard a lot of people going to therapy after playing these games. And you only need to experience it on a surface level. Don't go too deep. There are conscious beings residing within the games. Some of them malevolent, some of them good, some of them neutral. But I personally have tried to delete these entities from my own creations. So that's what they are. They're just human consciousness that eventually found their way in the games that we make. I think that's what they're referring to.
Who he's referring to is uncertain, but what I can say is when he mentions human consciousness stuck within a game, it raised the hairs on the back of my neck, as when I had experienced PHOBOS DERE myself, I did tend to notice certain things appearing in the corner of my eyes while playing the game, almost as if it were these entities themselves appearing in my reality. Upon watching that video and hearing his answer, I began to question things like who is truly behind this game, and is this something that other people have experienced? So I played the next video. Here's what he had to say.
It doesn't just happen to that specific game, it happens to every game produced by the Rashstein Institute and those projects that Apser has continued to work on. These games have a special connection to the player's mentality, their conscious state, and I believe these games could affect reality itself. And the player's consciousness has this effect on the games as well, wherein if you experience trauma or have special memories in your life, you might be seeing these things inside the game. So it's technology that is very hard to fathom, might even call it supernatural, but this technology is very dangerous.
And with that, it felt like he was almost warning me. However, he has gotten my interest piqued, and after digging a little bit more into the history of the Institute, I found a record of some scientist who went missing. So I put on the third video to see if there were any answers, and what I saw could not be coincidental.
There was this scientist who felt very guilty about his involvement in the creation of this game, and he went into business for himself. And what I mean by that is he went against protocol. He tried to stop a certain crucial aspect of the process of making this game because of his conscience, and the result was I think the Institute had to put him down because of that. I have acquired the disc containing the source code for the games, and I thought it was because of my passion for game development, but it was all a sham. Turns out I was just part of their experimentation process, and if I had continued on with the path they laid out for me, I wouldn't be the same person that you're talking to today.
While I'm not certain who he is referring to, the one thing I am certain of is I would not want to come into contact with the Institute. Despite all of his warnings, I can't help but be drawn to this mysterious game, and with one final video, I was left with a final message that felt more like a warning.
You'll have fun with it, playing, farming, running around, jumping around, but there's much more to it that meets the eye. So that's a very vague description of the game. I'm trying to be as careful as I can be. All I can say is you play the game, you experience it for yourself, and you be careful and try to survive until the end.
Even though I am now left with more questions than answers, if you, like me, are undeterred by all of his warnings and would like to experience Phobos Dere yourself, I have acquired 10 unique keys for this specific game on itch.io. For the first 10 people who comment Game Boy Conspiracy, I will give you these codes and we together can uncover the mysteries in Phobos Dere. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. It helps this channel out and it will allow me to continue creating content like this. And if you enjoy learning about what it takes to create these amazing homebrew games, you're definitely going to want to check out the next video coming up right now.